believe we're good. Hello. So, I kind of made this decision last minute to play this because yesterday was rough. But anyways, this is one of my favorite games ever. It's called Dragon's Dogma. It came out in 2012, which seems like forever ago, but it actually isn't. Um, but I yeah. I already had started a file because I wanted to get through one round of character customization because it can take a while sometimes. So you'll still be able to, because you have to customize your own character and then also your main pawn, which will be explained momentarily. Well, once we get into the game, I'm looking for my. Where are my notes at? I have notes. There they are. That'll make it a little faster. Because I have, I do cosplay characters, I guess, is what you would call it for this game. Because the customization is pretty diverse in this game. It's not quite as good as things maybe like Soul Calibur 5 or Dark Souls 3, but it's pretty good. So I already have some of the story done, so I'll just explain real quick. I'm playing on hard mode, so I might also die a fair bit just because the curve is wonky when you're starting out. But basically what happens is you are starting out anyways. You are this random person from this fishing village. You know, it's pretty run-of-the-mill. You've spent your whole life there. And then one day this dragon attacks, and the dragon is supposed to be like this ever reoccurring thing in the world. Like, he'll come. I guess if you've ever played Final Fantasy X, it's kind of like Sin. Basically, he comes into the world to wreak havoc and destruction, but he'll occasionally choose what's known as an Arisen, which is what your character ends up becoming because he attacks your village, and you fight him off, and then he marks you. He takes your heart and ingests it, I guess, but it's still intact in his body. It's some weird magic. And he makes you an Arisen. And so you're setting out on a journey to go and kick his ass and get your heart back. And that's pretty much all I've gotten. I picked my starting class for my build, and that's about all I've done. Gotten some items around the village too, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I got some stuff. So that's essentially all that's really happened. I haven't picked up any quests yet either. I haven't, because I was waiting for to get my pawn. Because what happens is your pawn gets quest knowledge to make them smarter, and since I'm kind of a completionist, I usually do that stuff when I can. Although it usually takes at least 2 runs to get all of the completion stuff, because there are 2 side quests where you can only do certain paths to get certain influences, and you have to do both. So yada yada yada. So we're gonna go out to the gate, and shit's gonna happen. By the way, I customized my character to be lightning. My pawn's gonna be Tifa. I'm a fanboy. It's fine. So yeah, that's a pawn. That mark on his hand is known as a pawn print. And we'll go into a little more explanation in a second. Because our good friend here...
That man you are speaking with, he's of the Pawn Legion. They come from some unknown place, just appear without a warning. They're a strange lot. Not human, quite. They look the part, sure enough, but they lack the will, the spark, what drives us.
He's talking about free will, and like, I guess the essence of the soul. This whole game revolves around like free will and your ability to choose your own destiny kind of thing.
They have no capacity to feel nor act alone, so they live as sellswords. Myrmidons, they're called. There's an encampment west of the village where men gather to face the dragon. I'd wager a fair number of his kind will be there as well. Why don't you take him? Might be you learn aught of why he came to you in the first place.
Before leaving, visit the store to make sure you've ample supplies.
Just general tutorial stuff. I should actually probably disable those. Not what I wanted. Wait, did I just change that? I don't know if I did or not. I guess it wasn't changed. Gameplay. Where's the tutorials? Hard tutorial message off. Okay. Do I want to pick up there? So you also, along with like regular story quests and side quests, you can also get notice board quests, which are like free XP and money. I think I might. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I get my main pawn. It'll only be like another second, anyways. Well, not another second, but yeah. So this guy is just supposed to help you. Well, I guess probably to get you to Grand Soren. His name's Rook. He's a mage. He's kind of garbagey. It's fine. I'm also a mage, but he knows more skills than me because I'm level 1, and he's not. So this brightness is like hard to get to the right balance that I wanted at. Where are my builds? I did.
To the encampment. This path should see us there.
Also, sometimes pawns talk a lot. Actually, they just do talk a lot. I usually keep it on because every now and then they do actually say helpful things if it's been a while and you don't remember how to fight shit. You also see me pick up a lot of shit because I'm a hoarder. It's fine. I will talk to Reynard. I just want to get this shit. So, this is Reynard. He's the best NPC in the game. Don't listen to anybody else.
Oh, that was far too close.
I love him so much.
I'm Reynard, a traveling salesman, though those damnable beasts ruined my wares. But thanks to you, it was only wares I lost. I'll consider it a bargain. You have my thanks.
He's such a sweetheart. Honestly, he is one of my favorite NPC in this entire game. I guess I can equip that. I didn't even really bother changing my gear, did I? I probably should have. It's fine. We'll wait. We'll be alright. I think you're supposed to go buy things from the shop, but I spent all my money on airtight flasks, which will make sense. Well, I guess I can go into that. Basically, this is the Dark Arisen version of the game, and with certain changes, they got rid of the option of you being able to buy airtight flasks, which doesn't seem like a problem, but it's how you preserve food and whatnot. And so they added that feature, I think, because of the oh shit, what's it called? It's this type of dragon in Bitter Black Isle, and he like spews poison breath that immediately rots all of your unpreserved food. And I think that's like the only reason they put that or got rid of the ability to buy it. They now have a lot of drop points everywhere in the world, but what I like to do when starting a new game is play the vanilla version and buy a shit ton of airtight flasks and then switch over to the Dark Arisen version, not only so you can keep the airtight flask, but you get a bunch of other shit too. So I can show you all that once I get to my inventory. I just need to double check what I'm starting Tifa off as, class-wise. I'm starting her off as a fighter, which I think is what I normally do anyways for my pawns.
Well met, Arisen. Can you hear our voice?
We are near a riftstone, if memory serves.
Rook, stop picking things up. The only problem with pawns is they pick things up, and while I appreciate them following my hoarding strategies, they don't do it the way I like them to hoard. Because they also pick up a bunch of stupid shit, which I don't care about. Which is, I mean, it comes with the territory, I guess, but it's fine. I can get more into pawn customization once I have my pawn, I guess, because your pawn is the one that you really are able to customize. We can gather some shit from here. None of it's all that particularly good on this side anyways, but the other side has good stuff. Harspud sauce, liquid vim. Liquid vims are pretty heckin' cool. They prevent your stamina from depleting for a little while. Well, actually it's a pretty decent amount of time. But so it's useful for when you are fighting the UR dragon, which comes in like way later.
A riftstone. A strange port.
Oh. I don't care. What did you pick up? You picked up great. Oh, I guess I probably should have picked up. That's fine. And you also picked up a rock, which is dumb.
Emanates from within.
What else was I gonna say? But yeah, because the UI dragon, well, he's the hardest enemy in the vanilla game. Not so much in Dark Arisen. He's still pretty tough, but not nearly as much as some of the stuff you get on Bitter Black Isle. And basically, like, the online one, because there's an online and an offline version. The offline version is easy as all get out. The online one gets, like, a shit ton of HP, because there are different generations of it, is how it evolves. And with each increase in its generation number, it gets more health and whatnot. So it takes way longer to kill. But one method involves being an assassin, because assassin, I should wait for that until I get to locations probably. But essentially, you end up using a lot of stamina, so Liquid Vim's help. And that was what I was trying to get to in the first place, and it took forever to get there. It's fine, I'm garbage.
We can have your pig. Or will it be?
Yeah, I'll just carve there and there.
What will it be today?
Yeah, it's the right order. I think it's the right order. Should be. Yeah, and this is all the shit you get from switching over from vanilla to, well, actually vanilla you get this stuff as DLC, and then switching over you get all the other stuff that's in blue, I think. Oh no, it is all, it's fine. It's whatever.
What will it be? Have your pig. Come on.
Alright. Let's get our pawn.
Well met, Arisen. Can you hear our voice? We speak to you from across great distance. The Pawn Legion has awaited you. Pray, forgive this strange and impersonal greeting. This rift serves as a gate. It connects our kind to your world. It opens to the Arisen, for they possess a will strength of your resolve. Very well. Then we shall guide you in your...
Sorry, I didn't mean to
If
skip
you
all.
are an Arisen in truth, this humble task will prove no obstacle. The Arisen must possess the valor to stand against all threats, and the power to quell them. A tireless spirit of self-improvement grants the strength to lead the Legion. Greg, show it now.
Alright, so just gotta I didn't mean to do that, it's fine. Alright, gonna go out, search the area. And by that, they really just mean run down here. And they'll be like, monster, it's a silver. And it's just a Cyclops. Cyclops are pretty hecking easy. Granted, since I'm just like a low-level mage, I don't have anything besides a fire spell. And Cyclops or Cyclopes, that's the plural, I guess. They're weak to lightning, but it's fine. He's already like half dead, I think, by the time you get out here. And he has some goblins with him that die pretty quick. I guess since I'm playing on hard mode, I should describe the differences between hard mode and normal mode. Main difference is, well, the enemies are harder, and your stamina bar depletes faster, whether it be running or using skills. Which, that's the main problem, because you have to do a lot of traveling in this game. Until you get a port crystal network set up to fast travel, and then you still have some issues with running, but it just makes life hard. Oh wait, I forgot there's like a lock-on system for this. Just kind of... Magic lock-on is awkward. Sometimes it's nice, and other times it's not. Oh! That's what I'm talking about when it comes to hard mode. I didn't know he was gonna hit me. But yeah, the curve for hard mode is pretty intense if you start out at level 1. Most things will kill you in one hit. I guess I could change my armor, but it's probably not worth it. I'll wait until I get Tifa.
Shall we search the area?
But yeah. And even once you get farther along, I mean, the weak stuff won't kill you one hit, but most bosses can still one-shot you, I think. Well, I'm trying to think. I know that Drake can, or probably can. Griffins probably could, when you're supposed to go and fight them. But yeah, it just kind of develops. Eventually you become OP, which is fine. Stamina's still a bit of a bitch, but it's whatever. And then on hard mode, Bitter Black Isle just becomes a real challenge once you're done with getting past the initial stuff. I'm gonna stay farther back this time. Take care of all those pesky goblins, so they can't one-shot me. I have a feeling some of these soldiers are probably gonna die. Oh, that Cyclops is close. He might actually just fall off the edge. He can kill himself. It's not quite close enough, I don't think. You're free to welcome to grab onto this thing. It does kind of work as a strategy. I personally don't like doing it, but it helps. It keeps him stable in one spot. But especially starting out, you don't want to be close to him because he'll wreck you. Magic locking on can be a bit of a nuisance because it likes to... You can't necessarily always aim at the weak spots as nice as you'd like to. Like his tufts, you can actually knock them off. and they're materials for weapon upgrades, armor upgrades, or you can sell them. Although they say they sell nicely, they're alright. I guess at the early parts of the game it's pretty decent money. Eventually you'll just be making money off of wake stones, but that's pretty far away still. Obviously, because we just started. Did he drop anything? Oh yeah, he did.
Let us return to the
Beefsteak. Yeah. That is alright. So yeah, that's that. Didn't die this time. Didn't get one shot by a goblin. What do I want to do with this beefsteak? Yeah, I'll save it, yeah.
What will it be today? What will it be today? What will it be?
Do I wanna... Ooh, that's a lot of... I didn't expect that much discipline. I'm gonna save that though. Oh, no, don't wanna rest.
What will it be?
With that, your trial is complete. You are the Arisen in truth, proven beyond any doubt. Now, I bid you select a companion for the journey ahead. They shall serve you, and you alone. To share in your
Let me get my notes out so I know what to customize properly for my T-Fa-Fa-Na-Fa. I just dropped my phone. Oh my god. My controller's really dumb and likes to disconnect with any particularly wrong movement. Yeah, female. I don't think there's anything even close to Tabitha. What's this one? Tesco. I'm not gonna try. I'll go with Tia. It's close enough. I think I usually start with that one, yeah. These are like your base bodies to start with. Yeah, I usually do this one for Tifa. Kind of different voices. Did I have a voice down for Tifa? Nope. Just like the basic stuff. This one the best. Hairstyle. Hair's already right. I need to make it black though.
Well, that's
My parents, everybody. They're all pretty similar. I guess they just have different, little slight different pigmentations. Think we'll go with this one. can like mess around and make this really grossly out of proportion with things. This is fine, I think. Skin color is probably close enough. I don't know if I want to make her much paler. I mean, I guess Tifa's kind of pale. Could probably go with something more like this. Eyes. 33. Eye color, we'll start with that. In the original 7, she had red eyes. And then they changed it to like a dark brown or black. Well, probably I think it was dark brown when they made like Advent Children stuff, but her original eyes were red, I'm pretty sure. Or like a reddish color. Probably even go for something like that, maybe. I guess while we're here, we'll use the internet to my advantage and look at them pics. Seeing as how I don't think anyone's actually watching right now. Also, I think my stream might be having trouble. I don't know. Either that or it's just my computer. And look, I think it actually is a deeper red. Oh, where's my... Come on, internet. Computers. Internet. Comcast pisses me off. I think they're a deeper red, though. Like something more like this. Yeah. I guess it really just depends on what adaptation you look at. Because even in like the Dissidia, it's a light brown, but... maybe it would be better with this color. Yeah, I think this is probably more of an Ayane from Dead or Alive's color. We'll go with the orange this time around. Why did I get rid of it? I should check the position. It's relatively straightforward. Size. Don't know if I want them to be too large. This is probably okay. Don't want them. Yeah, this is fine. Well, FF7, her eyes are pretty big, but I think to make her a little more human and less. This isn't bad. I don't think. Spacing. Nah, they're pretty close together. It might actually be more narrow. Yeah, we'll go with this spacing. I don't want them to be too far apart. Doesn't look too bad. This is what I only did. I did the first one because the second one can take some. Because if I were to fit two, it would take a lot of time just to get all the little nitpicky details, just the way you like and whatnot. Granted, you can like go back and do this, but if I can get as much done the first time around, I would prefer that. makes that much of a difference. We'll go with this one. I like that one a little more, I think. Vertical positioning. This is fine. She has a pretty decent forehead space. Brows, I did 39. Oh my god. Oh, she already started with those. Brow color, same as her hair. Well, I think so anyways. It's pretty damn close. Yeah. Spacing is probably fine. I think this is good. Vertical position. I think right there is pretty good. Nose is 6. I think this position's good right where it's at. I'll probably stand to go up one, but I think I prefer this. Size. I think this is fine too. Mouth I did 14, which is, oh yeah, I already started on the foot. Oh wait. Details. Ah. That's too far up. Maybe right there. Ears, you're not really gonna see your ears because of her hair, but what did I do? I did 7. Can't really see anything. I'll just go right there probably. Go with this stuff first before I do the other pickier things. I don't remember her height off the top of my head. But yeah, you can spend all this time getting specific and shit with how you want things. Torso 8. Arms 2. Legs 7, already there. Stance. Regular posture. Normal stance. Makeup. I think I did 5. Yeah. Did I do any color differences? Probably could. This isn't bad though. Yeah. prefer something a little... That should be fine, I think. I actually do like that. Looks a little more natural. Although I guess you can only say so much about natural when it comes to makeup. No scars or wrinkles. Color adjustment's fine. Alright, let me make sure I get her height right. Height. Many meters. 1.6. Actually, that's in centimeters. So she's 167 centimeters. Muscular. No, she doesn't really have much in the way of muscles. She does have notorious for a pretty big bust. I don't really. We'll go for this. I think that's more accurate. I mean, glad they don't have anything too insane with this game. Trying to think what it's like one of these two. She's not this tiny, but it's like somewhere around here, probably this one. Actually, her weight might also be on the... No, it just has her height. Fair enough. Skin color I already did. Height. Oh good, that's just around her height. Okay. Looks good. And it's Tifa. Started off as a... Oh, I have to do this part too. This affects their inclinations. You can go into what inclinations are. So the inclinations are in the center. I don't know why I'm pointing at my television. You can't see that. So Scather, Medicant, Mitigator, Challenger, Utilitarian, Guardian, Nexus, Pioneer, and Inquisitor. Though how high of an inclination your pawn has determines how often they will do these things. So Scather inclination means that a pawn will more often go after stronger enemies. Like if you're fighting a boss or something, but they also have underlings, it'll go for the boss enemies and leave the underlings more often than not. Focus on the boss and ignore the underlings. Mitigator is the opposite of that. They take down the little guys, or try to go after the little guys first and then focus on the big boys. Medicants are pawns that fight while paying closer attention to their health. So I think mainly that influences how often they use healing items. It's helpful, I guess. I don't know. More often than not, your pawns are if they die, it's probably because they're gonna get insta-killed by something, which that you have no control over, because it's because of their nature as pawns that they get insta-killed by the attacks, as opposed to they get insta-killed because they're so weak. Because it's usually they just get insta-killed by certain attacks. So healing is kind of eh. Challenger, more likely to go after foes that use range attacks, whether they be mages or archers of some sort. Utilitarians more often are willing to converse about different enemies' weaknesses and pay more attention to that. Guardians are pawns that will stay closer to you to look after you more, so they'll follow you more closely and fight enemies that are closer to you. Nexus, they are supposed to be more open to exploration. I don't know how much of that actually affect, like what all that influences. No, that's Pioneer, I'm sorry. Nexus is, what is Nexus? I usually don't pay attention to much of the other stuff because I end up having to focus on Scather, Mitigator, and Inquisitor the most. But pioneers explore more, I think. But, like, I think that just means that they'll move more freely ahead of you and look around for things. And Nexus, what does the Nexus do? I can't remember. We'll have to balance it out at some point, look it up. And then the Inquisitor, that rating influences how often pawns will actively seek and pick up items. So the ones I end up focusing on the most are Scather, Mitigator, and Inquisitor. Mainly because I try to control Inquisitor levels, because your pawn's inclinations are influenced by your own actions. So I end up picking up a lot of things, and that makes their inclination as an Inquisitor go up. But that also then means that they're going to pick up more stuff that I don't actually want, along with things that I do want. So I usually try to control that, because there are 3 levels of inclinations: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Tertiary, you can't actually see the rankings of them, but primary and secondary you can on your pawn status. So you usually want Mitigator, Scather to be their primary and secondary to make them more active in combat. I mean, unless you're trying to go for something more of like a mage, or I don't know. I usually just try to get them to kill shit, because it's hard for I find it hard for pawns to be mages in this game. Maybe I just don't incline them right for that. So, yeah. So I usually try to pick stuff that lowers Inquisitor the most. But this would help with Mitigator, which I also appreciate a lot. This helps. Yeah, we'll go for this one. Okay. Now that we have Tifa, we can start doing other quests, so that she gets quest knowledge. It's not even 2 yet, is it? I guess not. I thought it was later. I thought it took way too long with this shit. It's fine. Oh wait, we have to do the stupid training exercises first. That's right. I forgot.
Our fealty is sworn to you, Arisen. From this day, the Legion's men called pawns live and die by your command.
I forget what happens if you kill him, because, well, he probably just comes back. Because usually after the first playthrough, I stop using Rook and just throw him into the ocean and let him despawn and die. When he comes into the game, because I don't use him after the first run through. Alrighty. I gotta check. How long are we staying as these versus what am I doing? Warrior.
A strange power emanates from within.
Yeah, okay. I'm going Ranger, and then she's going Warrior. And then we're gonna flip-flop at some point. Probably. Sorry, I'm just planning what I want to do.
Ah, Emma, you'll be quite the force come the day you learn to fight as one. Mind you, that is a skill better honed in practice than in the heat of mortal combat. I can help in that regard.
It's not like I have a
Should you wish.
choice. Let's go to the inventory quick first. Where am? Oh no, I can't leave yet. Shit, that's fine. Probably don't need it that badly. Yeah, let's do it.
The
I
man
don't have much of a choice.
let me be. You can. Each serves to hone it. If you find that there are the first
Blah,
task.
blah, blah. Sorry,
You're
I am
free.
skipping to see this
Will
dialogue isn't
begin
important.
As soon as you're prepared, just your task is to hold.
These training exercises are supposed to hone your bond with your pawn, and really it's dumb. Yeah, the first exercise is literally just picking shit up and then dropping it off over there. I don't know how that's supposed to help anybody. It's fine. Along with inclination customization, you can also customize what and how your pawn says things, like their dialogue choices, I guess, is what you would. Oh, Tifa's good. Well then hurry up, Tifa, you have the last one. You have to do that at, it's called the knowledge chair. You can customize how they say things. There's a guide on the internet to tell you what choices affect what, or you can do it the hard way and just kind of try things. Or the
Well
long
done.
way, I guess,
Meet
not the
each
hard way.
challenge with that vigor, and you'll make for a find. Next is combat training. You'll find a large group will be of help. A company all doing the same thing is less effective.
Basically, he just means you want to vary your party with magic and physical attacks, because some of these pawns are weaker to physical attacks versus some that are weaker to ranged attacks.
We must hurry. There's no time.
Did we miss one? Oh, it's right there. Fire department didn't have any archers, which would have made this challenge easier.
Well done.
But we fine.
Right. One for. If there will begin. Well.
Alright, where am I? Oh, there's my green one. No. Tifa, don't attack the ones that are weak to magic. You literally have 2 mages here.
This oughtn't take long. Force alone, we're top of them. We must hurry. There's no time.
Lock on. Very tiresome sometimes.
Slay them all!
Don't get me good.
It will come.
Oh my gosh.
Let us slay the lot of them!
Well.
We've time of plenty.
I blame Tifa.
This
She's
game
not-
goes weak to magic.
Force alone, we're top of them. Slay them all. Deadline calls us.
I'll fell it with the spell.
This scarecrow's weak to blows. We must hurry. There's no time. Anything you've ever helped, Master. Force alone, you're top of them.
I think that was fast enough. It really does help having like an archer.
That's
That is a
the
lie.
fastest I can. Well. You.
I've learned what to do in this quest.
I feel more familiar with this quest now.
Oh wow, she's already level 5. I thought she was like level. Nah, it's fine. I don't care. Alrighty. Now we can go back to Cassardus. Oh yeah, there's also area discovery along with quest knowledge. If you just like run around and do things, or run around areas and explore them a bit, usually is enough for the discovery. Some things you have to do like very specific, like entryways and such before you can get all the full discovery. Oh, this bitch. Get tired of him so much. Alright. I already have all the shit.
A Rithstone.
I don't know if I necessarily need anything. Keep Rook in the party for now, seeing as how once... so once you get... Oh, I probably shouldn't have jumped from that high. That'll be good. Once you get to level 10, you're allowed to change your class. Your vocation. Now, in the vanilla version, you had to wait until you got to Grand Soren to change your class or vocation. And with all the stuff there is to do before you even get to Grand Soren, it's really hard actually to try and keep your level at or under 10 before you get there. If you're trying to do a certain build, it's doable, it's just not necessarily the easiest thing ever. So what's nice about this version is you can go to Bitter Black Isle like right away from Cassardus and be able to change your vocation.
Oi there, been some time, hasn't it? Enough time. The Arisen. I like it. Now, let us talk of business.
Alright, so with Reynard, you can buy a bunch of stuff from him. There are some things that are only available during this section of the game. So like how the game works is there are different progressions, I guess is what you would call them, when you do either certain main quests or story quests. And that affects what's in the shops. And he has stuff that's only available during this section. That if you want to get from him, you have to do it during this section. So what I'm doing right now, you have to have 10 separate purchases with him to start a side quest with him. So you can essentially like buy, like you have to do like 10 separate purchases. So you can like buy one thing and then you have to exit out and then come back in, so on and so forth.
Still, I'll not. No.
I think it's only 10 for the first one and then 10 for the second part.
Still, I'll
You won't have the materials for his quests though for a while, but it's nice to get it started ahead of time so you know what you're looking for.
Still, I'll not. No.
I mean, granted, I've done it a bunch of times, so I know that he wants scrap iron and then miasmite, and you won't get those until you get to Grand Soren. You can't get those until, well, you could probably run down that way. It's just, it's a long trek, and having Grand Soren as a hub makes it easier.
No. Pray.
Plus then, once you actually get to Grand Soren in the storyline, he can go there. Well, actually, he might still be able to go there beforehand. Reynard is a traveling merchant, so he can go to different places. He can be either in this encampment, in Cassardus, in Grand Soren, or at the Great Wall encampment.
No.
Did I not buy? I thought I bought 10. Unless I had one already.
No. Pray.
There we go.
Forgive the sudden request, sir, but I find myself in need of something and thought you might be of... If you find it, return here. Now, let us talk of business. Pray.
So yeah, once you start this quest, he'll want materials. Scrap iron for the first time, then you have to buy 10 more things from him, and then he'll ask for miasmite. And when you do both of those, he'll reward you and also give you a permanent discount. And I believe that discount applies into New Game Plus too, but once you do the quest again in New Game Plus, you don't get the same discount. It's like a one-time thing. By the way, I guess on the mini-map I should say, you'll have a blue circle like that, like a destination point, and an orange one. The orange one is like any quest that you're tracking, like main game quest and whatnot. And then the blue circle, it denotes where you should be going for Bitter Black Isle. Which these are just much more general things. This is kind of a destination point more than this is where your quest will end and begin and such and such. I mean, I guess it kind of does the same thing, but there's a lot to do in Bitter Black Isle that isn't really mentioned and discussed with the blue indicators, so you just kind of have to look around for that stuff. I don't think it's dark enough yet to have a Bitter Black Isle. Well, once it gets dark, you can go to the dock and start that stuff, but it's not quite dark enough yet.
Ah, the venerable Arisen returns.
Hate this bitch so much. She's so annoying.
Are you come to lead the pawns in a quest to slay the dragon? Those equivocal husks. Will or nill, the Arisen is always drawn to the dragon, as puppets strung in fate's own thread. Many have come before you, eager to stand tall atop the grand capstone of worldly truth that is the dragon. Arrogance. The dragon is ever born anew into the world, and with it too, the
It's hard to get Lightning's hair color right. This one isn't pink enough, but then there's another option that's just too pink.
While yet they live.
Need something in between.
Ours is a weak, fragile world, and little within it is more frail than man. In yon encampment they gather up their knights and hired steel. They think to grow their numbers and hunt the dragon. But they shall soon learn their lot will e'er be as prey.
He's such a butt. Okay, side quests. We can start doing these now.
Gives me chills just to think of it. I'll make no excuse, cousin.
So this side quest is actually pretty tough at low levels, especially on hard mode. You have to go into the well and fight off the monsters that are in there, and Saurians are the monsters in there. They're basically these reptile type things. They are honestly quite challenging at this level. Heil.
Well, Madeline, this is a fine
Oh yeah, you can just escort her too.
Come to Grand Soren with riches in mind, instead find only cravens cowed by dragon fear. The streets are chaos, my goods ruined or lost.
Let me pick these up first. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's fine. I can do that quest too.
Oh, I know you. And of course you know, well, these are truly for... Oh, you will be my... And with that...
Sorry, I'm skipping some of these dialogues just because they really aren't super important. Because you'll pick up on pretty quick Madeline's character. There isn't actually much development, I guess you could call it. That's what I like about Reynard. He's definitely he develops really well, and he's just a sweetie pie, and I love him. Probably shouldn't be doing this at night, but it's fine. How did Madeline get hurt?
Aha, go!
No harm
It's
must come
fine.
to our charge.
Brooke's gonna try and heal.
Now
Yeah, she's really annoying. She'll just like follow you, but then she'll stop to pick up shit, and I'm like, no. But it's short enough that it doesn't take long. Killing some rabbits, since I have that notice board quest.
Hold on.
Rook, just give it up. She's gonna move too much.
there's art here.
First we were more watchful than ever.
Oh, I guess I should explain night and day in this game. So when it gets dark, enemy encounters are changed. Also, the enemies tend to be more aggressive. And there are also only certain enemies that you can fight at night, so if you need materials from them, you have to do it at night.
Success! And all thanks goes to your fine work. We'd best be inside, don't you think?
And then, now that you finished your quest, she's also gonna, you have to help her again. Well, you don't have to, but she's gonna be all like, I'm broke, I need money to go to the city. And if you give her money, it'll raise her affinity with you. If you don't, it doesn't really change anything.
This may sound have you aught in the way of... Please? It's a terrible curse.
I usually do. Money isn't awful, I guess,
You'll find naught but the
to
finest wares.
use on her. You can also buy some nice things from her.
You'll find naught. Thank you very much.
I usually wait until I have more money to buy things from shops and just rely what I get from chests. Alright, let me take Iola to the Warrior's Departure. Escort quest, I guess, since I'm actually doing one. Some escort quests aren't bad at all, others are pains in the ass. Depends on who your NPC is and where you have to go. Some NPCs will fight with you, others won't. Others have varying defenses based on what they're wearing. Some are just plain stupid. So usually what I end up doing, I mean, the first run through, obviously you don't have a port crystal network, you can't do much, you just have to run there. But once you set up a port crystal network, it makes it so much easier, and I usually set it up in a way that you are close or at the escort points. Where? Come on, Iola.
Such a kind child.
Oh wow, Tifa got Moonglow. I did not expect that. I guess I should have tried to get some Sunbright too, but oh well. Or I got Moonglow, I guess, technically. Oh, Rook got it. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we should probably try and get back to Castus before it gets too dark. It's not a big deal. I might try and get more Moonglow from the beach if it gets dark before I get back to Castus. Because Moonglow is nice to have. You really only need it for quests. It's not the best thing ever when it comes to combining items, which you can. I spend a lot of time doing in this game actually. Mainly you use Moonglow to make sweet pollen, which is nice for potent green wishes, which you can use to make a bunch of other things. But there are better ways to make more sweet pollen than the one that you would get from mixing one Moonglow and one Sunbright. So I usually don't use it for combination. I usually save it for the quest. I think it's only this one quest though that you actually need it. Then strike. It's dark now, so there won't be any sunbright around the tree, will there? Near. Do I want to fight? Oh, I think they saw me already. Yup. Guess we'll fight it.
Goblins hate fire!
Did it!
Oh wait, no. Now that it is dark, I should probably go start Bitter Black Island, so that I can freely warp there. Actually, I don't know if I can even do that this early. You might not be able to. You have the Fairy Stone, but I don't know if that means you can warp to there or not. Because in the vanilla version, you couldn't use Fairy Stones until you got to Grand Soren, even if you already had the port crystals set up. I don't remember if they kept that feature in this version or not. I guess we'll find out when I'm ready to go change my vocations. Oh fuck, I also forgot to like talk to the people that have quests. It's fine. Oh, okay. There's Kina, your childhood friend.
Looks quite fresh. Seems they trade in textiles, though I'm not certain they're own.
I remember you from our childhood friendship. Yep, I just basically stole someone's money. Don't know what else there is I can get. There's some stuff out. Oh, sorry. Shit, that was mean. People don't like it when you run into them. It affects their affinity. Basically, this guy feels bad about this guy's dead brother, but he wants you to tell the guy about it as opposed to him because he doesn't want to face him because he feels guilty about it. Although since it's getting to be late, cutscene for Bitter Black Isle. I'm not even at the dock. It's fine. Dark Arisen added a lot of good music to this, I think. Forget the best way down from. Oh, that's right, it's this. Just one of the notice board quests, nothing special. Oh, that's right, you do have lanterns. Your pawn's lanterns don't run on oil, but yours does. It's usually not hard to get oil. Eventually you can get lanterns that last even longer than the standard ones. Plus, I think you can actually also time your lanterns, because they have like a timer before they decrease in how much fuel they have, and I think if you unequip it before the timer changes, it resets back to full, well, quote unquote full. I can't remember if that's, I think it does work like that, which it means you can abuse the system if you want. I usually don't worry about it because oil is pretty plentiful. So, although I think instead of making a lantern that lasts long, they should have just made a lantern that doesn't need oil, but you know, it's whatever. It's their game, they make the decisions. Heil.
I'd craft dressings for the wounded, had I the makings. Cuz I need a favor. Can you fetch the... I need more of the one you see there. And one other... the more you can find.
Yeah, so you need Sunbright and Moonglow. We have the Moonglow, but since we didn't get any Sunbright while it was daytime, we have none of that. We'll get it eventually. I don't think we can go into people's houses now, yeah. To talk to Marin. I wonder if we can go in the church and start that quest. Prob's not, but we'll see. Doodly-doodly-doo. 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 And then we'll go talk to Ulra. I believe that's her name anyways. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure her name's Ulra. I don't know if we can get in here or not. Yeah, no we can't. Alrighty. Worry about it in the morning then. Can I make this jump? I probably could. We'll do it from here though. Can I pick up the scriptures a while? I probably, yeah, we're gonna leave those there though. That's a quest item. I'm just gonna leave it there though, so I don't fuck up with the tracking of it and the information gathering. Flamica, you can use that to make various explosives. I think it's usually just the dragon spit as opposed to the what's it called? Throw blast. Throw blasts are like standard grenades. Dragon spits are more like incendiary grenades. I guess I could also talk about oil since I was talking about oil. You can douse your enemies in oil either with oil flasks or eventually you can get weapons that are doused in oil that also inflict that status ailment. I think they were actually DLC though, but if you have Dark Arisen, I think you can buy them, I think. Something like that. Or they're noticeable quests already in the Dark Arisen version, I don't know. But yeah, if you douse an enemy in oil, you can set them on fire. You can set fire to enemies in general, but if they're oiled, or if they're doused in oil, it does more damage and it also lasts longer. Forgot to grab this moldy stuff. Oh no, I don't want that. There we go. Can we get more moldy things or no? I don't have... Okay, I wasn't sure if you can make it without double jump or not. Well, double jump or levitate. I should probably go over skills at some point too. We'll do that momentarily. Since we're gonna go to Bitter Black Isle, that'll be the time to do it probably. Oh, nope, I fucked that up. Still fucked it up. There we go. I guess it probably would have been easier to do it from the other side. One thing I never did understand about this game is you have to sleep at inns to like progress time and also regain all your health and whatnot. Because how healing works in this game is like you have your green bar, like which is your primary health, And mages can heal, but what happens is you have a white bar that forms as you lose health, and that is health that you can recover by healing magics. And then whatever's left over the gap is health that can only be regained by healing items or resting. So, interesting system. Oh my god, what was I talking about though? I was talking about inns, because, so this is your hometown, and you have a house. It's right here. But you can't actually sleep in your own house, which is really weird, and I don't understand why they did that. But it's whatever, I guess. Like, you have full house, bed, that stuff. Can't sleep here. Only sleep at the inn. Granted, they made it at least really affordable and only made it like 50 gold, so it's not terrible. Speaking of the inn, I should, well, if I'm gonna go to see Ulra, I can just do it at Bitter Black. Standard encumberment system. You have very light, light, average, heavy, very heavy, and over encumbered. Very light and light run at the same speed, base speed, but light you can consume more stamina doing it. Average, slightly slower, more stamina. Heavy, slower, I think, and more stamina. And then very heavy, I think, might be the same speed, more stamina. And then overweight, I think, is the slowest and most stamina. If I remember everything correctly, it's been a while. I usually try to stay in the light to, or very light to average range.
You can see me. Then you are one known to the dragon, bound within the eternal ring. I have dire need of the Arisen's strength. Please, sir, will you lend me your
fam.
aid? You have my... You speak now to a shadow of sorts. My flesh resides elsewhere. I would take you there now, if it pleased
Let's
you.
do this, fam. This actually, I do also really appreciate this opening cutscene for Bitter Black. It's quite dope, I think. I could use a drink, but I'll probably just wait until after this stream.
I ask you, is that the fate you've chosen of your own will? You are Arisen. We stand now on Bitter Black Isle, far as sea from the cove we departed. I would ask you to explore its depths.
Now, seeing as how you can actually access this from the beginning of the game, you can come here and grind if you want. Since I'm on hard mode, I'm probably not going to for a while.
Were it possible, I would not send you off with so meager
Because
an
these enemies are
explanation.
tough.
But I fear I myself do not know it better. My past, my aims in coming here, all of it is lost, as in a fog. All I know is that I, like you, was called here, and am bound to stay. I sensed you in the distance, and called to you for help. I knew somehow, as by instinct, that you could grant the wish of the one who dwells below. Just as I know my role here is to aid you in that pursuit.
Ulra's a pretty good NPC too.
She bears
You find more out about her as you get through the isle. Usually not until you get to like the deepest parts, but so we won't be going there for a while. But she's pretty cool. I enjoy her. Plus, she helps you purify things. basically Bitter Black Isle, since everything here is kind of cursed, all the items you get are in a cursed state, and before you can use them, well, not all the items, but you get these items that are cursed, and you can refine them, and they become either weapons, special special armor, or special accessories. And so it's a pretty neat system. You have to spend rift crystals to refine them, though, but Bitter Black Isle is usually, it's a pretty good, you can usually get enough to get by. Plus, with the Dark Arisen version, you also have the Between the Different Sky quests, which give you a shit ton of rift crystals. Granted, you'll be spending those on stuff at the encampment too for character customization, but it's just kind of a balance of what you want and such. Or you'll probably be spending them at the encampment. Oh, I was like, what is... Hold on, it's a cutscene, I forgot. That slab, you'll find different, I think they're just like stone tablets that are kind of like journal or diaries of previous Arisens that have come through here and died. And they end up telling a story, and you can kind of look at them all on that wall after you've collected them. You can get some of the best ore in the game here too. The alluvial ore is really rare. You can usually only get that at the Blue Moon Tower. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Although there's also better ore inside, like diamond or hunks of diamond and rubicite, but that's Bitter Black exclusive. So actually, I think you can get rubicite at this entrance part too, but I don't have the abilities to, because you would need either double jump or levitate to get up to those areas. I thought is it a different one? I think you have to run jump up here. Yeah. I don't have levitate or anything, and it would just make it a pain in the ass to try and get stuff. Eventually I'll have double jump at least, but it'll be a bit. Also, you'll probably find in more ways than one you can just die by falling here. That's one thing that they did really, like, not even just like taking fall damage, but literally just like falling to insta-death. Because in the main game, you can't fall and die instantly unless you take enough fall damage. But that's really hard to do, except for in a couple spots. But they, because usually if you fall like off a cliff and you land into the water, you'll usually get eaten up by the brine and then spit back up on shore somewhere. The brine is essentially just Capcom's way of eliminating the need to make swimming animations, I think. Basically, the brine are these like leech parasite things that kind of swirl around in the water if you go too deep, and they'll just swallow you up and take you back to shore. So no sea exploration, no swimming, anything like that. Oh yeah, you can also get soaked in water as a status ailment. Usually it just makes you look wet, but if you're dealing with enemies that use electricity, it increases the I think it increases either the damage it does, the chance that it'll conduct between you and your allies, because lightning has that ability to hit multiple foes by conducting between enemies. I didn't mean to pick up that lantern. Or it's a combination of both. I can't remember, because not many enemies actually use lightning. Lightning is one of those elements that was kind of shat on in the vanilla version, and actually it's still kind of shat on, but not as much. Not many things use lightning. Not many things were weak to lightning. But they did balance it out at least. They are somewhat. My throat is be dry and I don't have any more things to drink left. It's fine. Let's do some inventory management. We're not level 10 yet, so we can't change our vocation.
Should you in your travels find such ensorcelled the procedure requires but a few. I shall aid you however I can. If there is.
Oh, I didn't do that. Shit.
If there is aught. If there is aught I can do, I shall aid you however I. If there is. If there is aught I can do. If there is aught I. If there is aught I.
How do I not?
If there is aught I. If there is aught I. If there is aught I can do. If there is aught I.
Sorry, I'm just managing stuff.
If there is aught, I shall aid you however I can. For there is. If there is aught I can.
Oh, I could buy levitate. I don't need that for a very long time, though, do I? Well, I could use it right now. I don't know. I'm not planning on doing much with bitter blacks, so. Why do I have so much discipline? I don't know.
If there is aught I can do.
Yeah. So you could like switch between the basic vocations, but you don't get anything else until level 10.
I pray.
I should probably change armor setups too, shouldn't I? Yeah, we can do that. Thanks.
I shall aid you if there is. If there is aught. there is aught
Weapons. Oh yeah, I didn't do like anything. I'm gonna sell some of this stuff. Keep all the other stuff though. I might honestly just go with outfits for these. Do I want to be selfish and wear this for myself? A set of Queen's clothing is a really overpowered or outfit, so I'm just contemplating what I want to do. Because usually it's also pretty light, so that's the benefit of it. Because I end up carrying a lot of shit, so I think I will take that. And then customize stuff for Tifa in just a minute. Wooden staff. What am I doing? Oh, I should probably get the shield of Tifa, even though it's not upgraded. Yeah, it's pretty OP. The only thing with outfits is it feels like all of your clothing and armor, but this one's a really good outfit set, or armor set. Outfit. Yeah, it's outfit. Sorry, don't know where my brain is.
My hope is that I may rediscover myself.
Yes, I understand. You're trying to learn who you are, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, Tifa.
If there is aught
I don't want to use any of the DLC stuff until I can get it enhanced. Well, unless it's like actually decent. Yeah, I think we'll just go with the regular tunic. It doesn't look that pretty, but it's light and decent compared to whatever else I have for clothing, so I don't want any of the DLC armors yet. The DLC armors are usually good for one thing, but then also like weaken a bunch of other things, so until you can get them rarefied, they stop having negative effects at that point. Do I not have any I have this. That's quite heavy though, but it's a good armor set, or a good armor piece. Just be heavy. Yeah, go with that one. I think that was the lighter option. There's nothing else that's more balanced. This is my only clothing, so give that to Tifa. I think I have any other, yeah. The DLC capes are actually the only good one, like things that have no negatives from the get-go. Trying to remember which one. This one's really good. Possession resistance. We don't have to worry about that. Or is that petrifaction? I always confuse the two. I think that was actually petrifaction. I'll go with this one for her. These rings aren't worth it. Pretty garbage.
If there is aught I can do, say it. I shall aid you however I can. Pray.
So you also noticed I was in a skill menu. You buy skills with discipline. You get discipline for doing random shit, killing enemies, using skills, yada yada. Seeing as how I'm only staying with these classes until level 10, I'm not going to do anything with them yet. I will wait until I get to my next, my vocation change. And seeing as how we're almost there, it's not a big deal. Do I want to take any of these notice board quests? Seeing as how I'm not going to do anything, I think I might wait. Or, I'm not doing anything in Bitter Black yet, I might wait on those. Just to make things a little less crowded. Alright, take me back to Cassius, please.
I shall aid you however I can. Sir, I would take you there now.
So,
That is what you do.
we'll go back there to change vocations. I don't know if that'll happen during this stream or not, because we're getting to be out of time soon. Oh shit, it's already sunrise.
Take care at the water's edge, Master.
Alright.
And the brine.
What was I looking for? This one. I don't know if I can get into people's houses yet. It might still be too early. Yeah. Let's go to the... Oh, hey, Valmiro.
That was a dragon for truth, for all the tales.
I feel like I'm very scatterbrained. There's just so much to talk about, but I have to think about it the right way, so I don't spoil anything.
As you will.
Let me raid your kitchen first before I rest, so I can, Seems a fair place to rest.
A delicious aroma.
Oh, this is the knowledge chair. They look like this. There's one here in Cassius. There's one in the encampment. There's one in the basement of the Pawn Guild in Grand Soren, and no, there's one at the Great Wall encampment, and I feel like there's at least 2 more locations. There's one, I think there's one in Devilfire Grove at the camp there, and then there might be one at the camp near the Duke's Demens.
I do not fancy the thought of you going
or whatever. Yeah, the Blighted Mans.
As you will.
Not 100% sure on the last camp what I just mentioned. But you use those to change your pawn's inclination as well as their what they say in combat.
As you will.
There are better ways to change inclination though. Eventually you can buy these like potion things, I guess, that change your pawn's secondary inclination immediately, but if you give them, like, what is it, 3 of them I think, you can change its primary inclination. So yeah. Can also erase any of their inclination things, but that can be somewhat detrimental depending on other knowledge that the pawn already has. Wait, how many empty flasks do I have?
I do not. If you come by the inn, what can I do? As you will.
Take one.
As you will. What can I do? Take care.
Get some oil for this lantern, seeing as how it's a free lantern. Save that for when I recruit another pawn, if and when I do. Is it sun up enough yet?
Quite tidy, this room.
I can go into people's houses. Yay.
What? Cortez is found? Aye. Elvar has suffered in this as well. Cortez made his choice. Elvar bears no fault in that. He has no cause to blame himself. My thanks, good Fisher. I am sorry this burden fell upon...
Yeah, no hard feelings. Life sucks. It happens. his brother's dead, but Elvar lost a friend, and yada yada. We can go talk to Elvar and that quest, and then we can go to the church and do that quest too. Heil. Shop. Actually, that's it's not Bedia. It's, what's her name?
Remember to both buy and sell items regularly.
Estella. She has,
Can't say that.
ends up with a really good, well, not necessarily, I mean, it's pretty good. It's also rare. It's a rare great sword that you can only get from her, but you have to have her at max affinity. I think the earliest you can get it is the, quote-unquote chapter 4. It's the after the third progression of side quests and such happens. Why did I run past the church? I'm so dumb. I should pick up this quest here at least. This guy's such a sweetheart.
What I can help you with?
Tis selfish to beg a favor in such times.
I'm just gonna skip through this and tell you. He has misplaced the scriptures that he needs for his sermons. He's a relatively new priest, so he's not quite as familiar with everything yet, so he wants the scriptures to bolster his confidence, yada yada. And then you can talk to this kid out here, because he's the one that took them, because he wanted to look at them, and he feels bad, and he dropped them during the dragon's attack. He feels bad about it. He tells you where he last remembers them, but he doesn't really know what happened entirely. But yeah, the scriptures are just on that rooftop that we passed when I was getting items. Here for you, Tifa. Oh. Pick these bad boys up. Is Elvar nearby? Yes, he is. I love how people in RPGs just don't care that you're taking things from their house. Oh, this is the wrong house though, isn't it? I have to get into the other... Ugh.
I thank you, cousin. Cortez did not trade his life for mine, so I could. I live.
Good for you. Doo-doo-doo. Deliver these to my good friend Clement. Oh yeah, you can also talk to him and be like, oh, you found them, cool, thanks.
I'm glad it's found. Thank you.
That's just optional, you don't have to do that. Doesn't really do anything for quest knowledge either.
I am and eager, but now, just as I can...
Here you go, fam.
The scriptures. I cannot thank you enough. Now I can once, but
What I can help you with?
Alistair's pretty cool too. You can, I think you can actually like interact with him for only like 1 or 2 quests, but he's pretty dope. He's good at translating worm speak, I believe. I think that's his ability for quest stuff. From day to night, this area feels completely different. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just gonna steal more things from people's houses real quick. If I can. Geraldo. Some interesting names in this game, I must say. Have I not gone to the house that has the probably not. We'll go there. I think that's the next one down, actually. Or is this where I was just at? Shit. What am I thinking of then? I think I know, it's in the back alley.
Word is the fishmonger here is also learned in medicinal herbs.
Forget if there's anything actually up in this house. I think this is one of the empty ones. Or emptier ones, I should say. You can break stuff. Try not to. Well, depends on if the people are around or not. Plus the things you get from breaking aren't always that good. So, usually you can just pick up stuff. By the way, if you notice my stamina bar isn't going down, you can run infinitely in towns, which is quite nice, must say. Can only do it in towns, or in like places. Well, actually, yeah, I think just any kind of like safe space, hubs of any kind, I think. Goodies. So parry apps are basically just things that increase your stats for a certain amount of time. Different ones can become useful depending on what enemies you're fighting and such. Not gonna go do the Saurian quest yet. I'm definitely not strong enough for that. Yes, I know, Benita has been picking flowers, blah blah blah.
What can I do?
Okay. Now I can sell these other weapons. Nah, I should probably hold on to them. Although the ones I have are pretty comparable in damage, so probably wouldn't be a bad idea to keep them.
As you will.
Actually, though, so I have.
As you will.
Get that in there.
As you will.
Have regular berry, regular apple mold. I don't have moldy berries yet, which I do actually need. I need a. Do I have a moldy pumpkin?
As you will.
Don't. I only have moldy apple, moldy carrot. I'll let the carrots go to moldy. So basically your food has 3 ranks. There's fresh, there's moldy, or I think another, I forget what it may only just be moldy. And then rotten. So fresh mode is basic mode, usually good for something or another. Moldy, it depends on what you're dealing with. It usually makes some aspects of it better, but other aspects not as good. It depends on what you're dealing with, though. For meat, it's sour. That's what that is, sour. Meat, there's no negative side effects to having a sour meat. It just increases more stamina. Fruits and vegetables, depending on which one. I think it's actually just vegetables. If you eat a moldy one, it gains more health, but you also lose some stamina. And I don't think you have that with fruit. But I could be wrong. I usually use my moldy fruit, like the apples and grapes, for wine. So, because you can make wine with combinations.
As you will.
So what do I need? I have regular beefsteak. I have regular apples.
As you will.
I need to put 2 of those in there. Because these can be used as gifts, which are also important, so. This I need to keep, this I need to keep, this, yeah. And this I need to keep, all this I need to keep. Okay, we good.
As you will.
Let me see how much Tifa's weapon damage is. 82 and 15. What do I have in storage? If anything comparable to that, I'll just sell it.
If you come by the inn, what can I? As you will.
Nope, her shit's better. Granted, we're not going to be needing it for long, but I'll hold on to it until then. Daggers, it's pretty much the same, although I'm the only one that's going to be needing those for right now, but I'll probably sell the daggers and use the dowsing spikes and or the Saurian Bay. I could probably use both. I guess I should probably explain with special items, or like these types of weapons, there are two types. There are ones that are strong against specific types of enemies, and then there are ones that have different like status, like ability type things, I guess. So a common one, I guess I should explain with the Force Hatchet. If you get a streak, it increases the power of each hit, but then eventually it drops your stamina to 0 at max. And that's common for a couple different ones, actually, I think. And then the sword equivalent of this one, it's against ghost enemies. So you'll usually have one of each. This is strong against skeleton enemies. This gives you gold with each hit. This is strong against dragons. This is a stamina one. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, you use more stamina, but you can deal more critical hits. Strong against cyclopes. This slows stamina usage. So you get the idea. Each one is kind of special or enemy specific. I should probably take the Goblin Bane staff. For now, although we're going to be level 10 soon, so it probably actually doesn't even matter.
As you will. As you will. As you will.
Alright. So that's more explanation, I guess. We'll go do some more questing and try and get to level 10. So we can do vocation changes. I think I'm level 7? 8. Okay. Kill bunnies. Honestly, I hate killing rabbits. They're the only well, I mean, I'm not really fond of killing the animals in general. I mean, I know they're not real, but their death sounds are so horrible. The rabbit ones, anyways, they are such horrible death sounds.
Plants of all kinds grow at the tree's feet.
I hate the rabbit death sounds so much. And I know there's like one quest down the line where you have to kill like 45 of them, and it's just awful. 45 separate death screeches. I leveled it up, right? Oh no, Tifa leveled it up. Okay. Need a few more sunbrights still. Oh, the sunbright is really easy to get, so no worries. Need to get to a different tree though, but I'll let these two pick up large nuts, because large nuts are also nice. Oh, I knew there was a chest around here. That's what I was looking for. There's a couple chests around here. They're alright chests. Not great. It's the beginning of the game though. Not supposed to be amazing. I guess I should also... chests and like every other thing that you can pick up in the world eventually respawns. So you can have like each chest, I guess. Well, yeah, the chests have variable drop pools, and so you can like get different things depending on just different chance opportunities. Some chests, I think, are usually all the same thing, but not always. Rank up. So yeah, your vocation just ranks up by using skills and various things that your class can offer and whatnot. Oh no, those aren't goblins. Once you hit max, and different vocation ranks allow you to access new skills and such. Makes you better. Oh no, I can't sing. Because copyright's a thing. Just call me Shantato, I'm so good at rhymes. I never sold this shit that I said I was gonna sell. It's fine. Alright, where are the big trees that have sunbright? This is one. How many more goblins do I need? 5 more. Investigate the well. That's where we can kill rats. Cyclopes, spiders. Yeah. Some of those enemies on there you don't see for a while, so don't be discouraged. I think those are the ones that you don't see for a while at DLC quests, though. Please don't hurt me. You're gonna hurt me. Oh, but like I said, this armor is really OP, so that's probably the only thing that kept me from getting one shot. So, yay. And see, Rook's healing me. It's not gonna go past that white line.
Strength in numbers, Arisen. The rocks here may hold all.
Mages are the only class that can heal, I think. I don't think. I mean, there's armor that allows you to heal your allies, not you. And I forget if that's wearable by certain different classes. It's a weaker effect though than just a standard heal spell, but you can just stand there and wait. Trying to remember. Alrighty. So we killed... I don't think we killed enough goblins yet. I could go kill more, but I don't know if it's worth it. I only need 2 more. But they're not around for a while. I have to go kill bandits first, which, I mean, I could do, but... It's fine. We'll go do this quest, and that should get us leveled up enough. Or close to being enough. Oh, I should probably also get some of the other goodies that are closer to the coastline. Manage inventory. Actually, it's almost time to cut it, so we'll do hand in this quest and then cut for today. Doodly. And next time, I'm gonna do more side stuff probably, just like getting items and things. And then next time we can do... I can try the story and quest. If I level up to 10, switch vocations, I'll be able to do more damage that way. Maybe have better armor. Oh wait, no, I'm not here first. Benita first. Oh wait, no, do I need my moon glow? I need my moon glow, don't I? Yep. I'm in the middle of a stream. I knew he was gonna send me messages, and I'm in the middle of the stream. It's fine. It's fine.
If you come by the inn, you're gonna as you will.
Just gotta double check this. I think my yeah, it's fine. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. It's alright. Fix it.
As you will. If you come bother, what can I...
As you will. As you will.
What can I...
Oh wait, I got new notice board quests. We'll do that in a minute. I'll probably just do it off camera though.
The wounded need medicine, cousin. The mixture calls for 2. I ask.
Here you go, fam.
Ah, brought the rest of all that remains.
I've learned what to do in this quest.
The wounded need the I ask. Aye, that's the one.
The injured will die
You
without those flowers.
Moonglow has grown. Good. That's the both of them. In truth, I am surprised to see them got so quickly. I'll get to work directly. With luck, we'll have everyone back to
medicine
health.
shit.
I'm familiar with his quest now.
Alright, I leveled up. Tifa didn't, but that's fine.
That was a dragon.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna cut it. I'll finish doing side stuff and move on with the story hopefully for next time, or get ready to move on with the story hopefully for next time. So hopefully y'all enjoy this. I don't actually know if anybody was watching, but this is supposed to be, well, this channel is supposed to be for me, but it's all supposed to be ways that I can keep in touch with people, but I understand life's busy, so have a good week. Enjoy your sports ball, because I think there's a sports ball concert today. You know, not really happy with the halftime show, but that's a different story for another time probably. So, have a good one. Catch y'all later.